Chophouse Chatter Podcast. For the fans, by the fans. For the love of the game.
Hello, baseball fans, and happy opening day. Jackson, how do you feel?
We're back. At long last.
It's been a cold, just slow off season of God. When is baseball coming back? We're finally here.
It is here. You know, everyone's like, oh, March Madness. I'm like, the only March Madness I care about, the full slate of games on opening day.
And it's gonna be a great day. It's gonna be a good slate of games. You're gonna have the best teams throwing out their best pitchers. You finally get the best players. You don't have to worry about this crappy third AAA team that's going on the road in spring training. You don't know who is this guy. Is he even on the roster? Some guy that's going to be playing in single A. You don't have to worry about that now. We have the big teams. We have the starters. We're ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, the only game I really watched was the breakout game, spring breakout.
Yeah.
I thought the Braves young pitchers was really good in that game.
I did watch the first exhibition game this earlier this week against the Cubs, and that's when the Braves just mollywopped them. It was like 13-4. It was a great ending to the spring training.
Yes. Please, odd year Matt Olson, please bless us with your presence. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes. But yes, Chophouse Chatter is back. We have had a lot happen this past year. I now have a daughter. Jackson, your son is 2 years old.
Yeah, I have another. We got another one on the way. You know, we're busy.
Just a lot of good things happening. But yeah, I'm gonna try to be a little bit more consistent. I'm gonna try to come see the fans a little bit more. And then, hey, we got the All-Star game coming to Atlanta. I'm gonna be present at Truist Park for the All-Star game. So it's going to be a good year for 2025.
I'm so jealous.
I'll make sure to do a couple of live videos. I'll get you on there so everybody can see just the festivities, everything that's happening from the inside. Because especially with us being a part of the top fan rivalry community, I don't know if we've ever had a viewpoint from inside the All-Star game before, inside the World Series before. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about it. I don't think so.
Exactly. Like just picture me being in the outfield during the home run derby, just showing everybody what the fans in the outfield stands see.
Trying not to die because they're hitting them 115 miles an hour at you.
If that's how I go, that's how I go. And hey,
that's a pretty good way to go.
Yes, great way to go. But let's go ahead and get down. Let's get started. National League East, I believe it's going to be the most competitive league in most competitive division in the entire major leagues. What do you think?
I agree with that. I think there are, spoilers. I think there are 4 pretty good teams.
Four. Most people say 3. It's the 3-headed monster. Who's that 4th team you're thinking of?
Look, Washington Nationals, their new City Connects suck, but I don't think they are going to suck this year. I miss the gray cherry blossom uniforms. The new ones that are blue with the blueprint of the Capitol. So dumb.
I don't know where they get the color scheme from with that black and like that light powder blue.
It's supposed to be like the blueprint for Washington D.C.
Okay, all right.
That's what I said. I was like, go back to the gray. The gray was awesome.
I mean, as long as we don't see the Walgreens logo, do what you do, Washington.
Yeah, you know what? That's fair. But obviously the Marlins are bad. Rebuild number, however many years we're going on.
I mean, as soon as they started getting rid of I believe they had 3 legitimate MVP candidates on the team at the same time. They had Christian Yelich, they had Marcell Ozuna, they had Giancarlo Stanton, and they did nothing.
No, and when you trade guys like that, you got to get something in return. I actually went on a rant about this. I don't remember if it was when I was doing a podcast with Bill over on the Weekly Review.
Yeah.
Last week or the week before, but it's, from an organizational standpoint, if you're going to trade guys away, you've got to get major league ready talent. You can't be getting lotto tickets for your good players.
Yeah.
It's really silly. I feel bad for Marlins fans. I feel bad for the city of Miami because They have so many Latinos from the Caribbean.
Yeah.
So many baseball loving Latinos down in South Florida that would kill to have a competitive baseball team.
So at
And
what point does the league have to step in and force a team to be competitive, because they're not even trying to spend money out there and they're just giving
um,
everybody away?
I've heard grumblings that the Marlins might have a grievance filed against them soon. Their opening day payroll, it's like 35, 40 million or something like
And
that.
I can think of 5 players off the top of my head right now that make that kind of money by themselves this season alone.
Yeah, Juan Soto can pay the Marlins payroll and like probably still eat out every night for the rest of his life.
Still have more money than me.
Still have more money than us. But the
So
Marlins are going to be bad. They have some prospects that are intriguing. But if the Braves don't win at least 10 of the 13 games against the Marlins this year, what are we doing?
you have to capitalize against the Marlins. So we're in agreement. At the bottom of the division, we have the Marlins.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give them 9-4. You got to win every series against the Marlins.
Yes. Okay. I'm with you. So low end 9-4. Best case scenario, we're looking at 10 out of 13 games.
I think best case scenario they win 11 or 12 out of 13.
11-12. Okay.
Yeah.
I just view the way I know the Braves, they play World Series caliber baseball against the Dodgers. And then they look like a AAA team against the bad. Look at last year, the first series we lost against the White Sox, who only had 50 wins all season. How do we lose a series against the worst team?
Because it was like 20 degrees in April and Garrett Crochet pitched one of those games.
But still, you get what I'm saying.
Look, it's just how the baseball rolls.
Yeah, yeah. All right,
they're starting out west this year though, so that's interesting.
That's a tough road trip. We have San Diego for 3 or 4 games, and we have LA Dodgers. That's tough teams to start the season.
I'd rather get it out of the way early.
Yeah. Hey, you're right. You're right.
Better to play in LA at the beginning of the season when you're all energized. You just started, rather than in mid-August heading out there in the middle of a division race going, crap, we got to play the Dodgers for 3 days.
I do wish we had a fully healthy team the first time we played the Dodgers, but yeah, knock out as many games against them earlier so that by the time we get to the end of the season when games matter, all these tough teams are already in our rearview mirror.
Yeah, I mean, every game matters. I think 4-3 is a successful road trip to start the year against the Padres and Dodgers, obviously. So looking for at least one series win, and then a split in San Diego wouldn't be bad as long as you can win the Dodgers series.
Yeah,
everyone's touting the Dodgers as this unstoppable juggernaut. Guys, let me tell you a little secret.
Hit me.
Their starting pitchers, none of them are going to throw over 150 innings. Maybe except Blake Snow. Maybe. That's if his arm doesn't fall off.
Yeah.
The Dodgers have an Achilles heel, and it is how healthy are they going to be? I think the Braves might luck out because Mookie Betts has been sick for the past like 3 weeks. If he plays to start the season, he's not going to be very good.
Last time I heard he was down to 150 for his weight. Like he just can't keep any food down.
Yeah, he needs to sleep. He needs to stop playing baseball and sleep.
Go sleep for the next month and then come back healthy. I just don't want to see him right now.
So this West Coast trip to start is really pivotal, and I think it's going to be really interesting to see how the Braves start out, especially since we'll transition to the next division team to talk about. These Washington Nationals might be an intriguing little team.
So that's who you got coming in 4th place for the division, or you got them jumping ahead of the 3-head monster?
I think they'll finish 4th. I think they'll be in a contention for a wild card spot.
Okay.
At some point in the year, I think what really holds them back is their lack of good starting pitching. But I think
they got a young team that's unpredictable right now.
Yeah, but they got some good arms. Mackenzie Gore is one that comes to mind. Parker, who I can't remember his first name. Is it Parker Mitchell or Mitchell Parker? I don't remember.
Top fan stats guy? You don't know right now?
It's not stats related. It's name related. I'm horrible with names.
Got it.
I'm not the top fan names guy. I'm the top fan stats guy.
You're right. So we got the Marlins. We got the Nationals. Anything else about Nationals before we hit that 3-headed monster of the NL East?
I'd say watch out for Dylan Cruz to come up. Him and James Wood are going to be really good in the corner outfield for Washington this year. So I think that's how Washington's going to improve. They're just going to have better players.
Yeah. A lot better than Miami. A lot better than them.
A lot better than a lot of the teams in the MLB. Let me tell you, I bet you if the Nationals played the AL Central, they'd win it by 5 games.
I mean, any kind of Central, AL, NL, the Central is just usually, knock on wood, usually one of the worst divisions in the
Yeah.
league. So, yeah,
Look, I think the Nationals can win like half the divisions in the MLB.
got it.
And I'm being completely honest with you.
All right, who you got in third place? You got the Braves, you got the Phillies, or you got the Mets? Who's in third place in the NL East?
I'm going to pick the popular pick for number 3, the Mets.
The Mets
I,
will come in third.
I think the expectations are what's going to sink the Mets. Never trust the Mets, Thomas.
The Mets are gonna Met, and I hope Mets Megan is listening to this. The Mets always met.
Like, I know I picked Francisco Lindor for my fantasy baseball team, but that's for the second half of the season when I need points. He always starts off slow.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on Juan Soto to be Juan Soto.
But Juan Soto has been that guy for the longest time. And the only time that, I mean, he's always been compared to Ronald Acuna Jr. The only time that he takes out Ronald Acuna is when he's off the field, but they've been neck and neck their entire career.
Yeah. Look, Soto's first year in San Diego wasn't very good. He had a good year in New York last year, but, I could probably hit 300 with Aaron Judge hitting behind me, because they're going to throw every pitch over the plate.
I don't know. I ain't even going to say all that. No.
Well, I'm exaggerating, obviously. I know I wouldn't touch any MLB pitcher.
I just want to hit like 50, like not even like hit 100 for a batting average. I just want to hit 50.
0.50. Yeah, you know what? If you could,
can I have a respectable pitcher's batting average? That's what I want.
Look, yeah. How many sack bunts do you think we can lay down?
I was a bunting maestro when I played. Love bunting.
Doesn't count against you for your batting average. So
yeah. So you got the Mets.
I think their rotation's just not that good.
You're right. Yeah. The Braves and the Phillies definitely have a stronger rotation, but it's that lineup. I mean, yes, defense wins championships, but if you're beating everybody 10 runs to 9, that's still going to be a win in the win column.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have a lot of proven starting pitchers, and that spells trouble for your bullpen, no matter how good it is.
Yeah.
So I think the Mets are going to finish. I think they're going to miss the playoffs. I picked them to miss the playoffs on pretty much everything.
Yeah.
They could prove me wrong, but I think they're right now on the outside looking in because they're not as good as the next team, the Phillies.
Yeah.
They're not as good as the Braves, and you're not going to jump the Diamondbacks for a wild card. Ooh. We're not talking about the Diamondbacks today.
I don't know. I don't know if I put them down at third and even missing the playoffs, but I'm gonna put them in second for me. I'm gonna put the Phillies in third place for my prediction.
See, the Phillies are a weird team because they got a lot of old guys, so it could just be the year that it all falls apart.
That's exactly what I'm predicting. The fountain of youth in Philadelphia has finally dried up. They ran out of all their juice for their other team, the Philadelphia Eagles. I am an Eagles fan. They won the Super Bowl, so they're still on a high. They're still hungover from that, and the fountain of youth is just gone now. So all the old heads, they're finally going to start playing their age.
Yeah. Although let me tell you, in Pennsylvania, there's no expectations for the Phillies, so that might help them.
Yeah.
I think their rotation's pretty good. I mean, Jesus Luzardo's looked bad all spring, but if he's just league average, their rotation is nasty. Back end of their bullpen's good. Their lineup's really solid. But again, it's a lot of guys in their 30s. If Kyle Schwarber, doesn't hit 3 home runs, it might be bad because I don't think Nick Castellanos is going to do a lot of work. That the bottom end of that lineup, Bryson Stott, Brandon Marsh is a platoon hitter. Let's be real with ourselves. They're going to play him every day. I think the Phillies are just not as good as the Braves when the Braves aren't missing 5 of their starters.
You're right. So speaking of the Braves,
but I will give respect to the man I hate. Bryce Harper will have a good season.
I'm going to hold my opinion on Bryce Harper for another episode. I'm just going to hold my opinion. He's a great player, and I'm going to leave it at that.
He'll hit 280. He'll hit 30-something home runs.
Yeah.
900 OPS. He's going to do it. He's only 32. So that's not a shot at Bryce. So I don't want to don't stare me down when you hit a home run, Bryce.
He can stare me down. Hey, I got a mean poker face. Come at me, Bryce Harper. So
But
on
yeah,
to the 2025 Atlanta Braves. Let's hit the roster first, and then we can go into how they're going to look at the beginning of the season towards versus how they're going to look at the end of the season. Cool.
all right. Yeah, sounds great.
All right, so let's hit the entire roster. We're going to be carrying two catchers to start the season, Drake Baldwin and Chadwick Trump. Going to have one first baseman, Matt Olson, one second baseman, Ozzy Albies, one shortstop, Orlando Arcia. Third baseman, one is Austin Riley. Outfielders, we're going to carry four, Michael Harris second, Jerkson Profar, Jared Kelenic, Brian De La Cruz, and we'll get into the injuries after we go through the roster. DH is going to be Marcell Ozuna. Bench is going to be utility players Nick Allen, Eli White. Starting pitchers going to have Chris Sale, Ronaldo Lopez, Spencer Schwellenbach, Grant Holmes, and AJ Smith-Shawver. And then our bullpen, what is the bullpen looking like? We're going to have Raisel Iglesias, Pierce Johnson, Dylan Lee, Aaron Bummer, Hector Neris. Ooh, this name, De Los Santos,
And yet,
Enyel, Jose Suarez, and then this Decibel Hernandez. So that is what the
nice, man.
2025 opening day Braves look like. What you got, Jackson?
I think it's a really solid team. I mean, obviously, the bullpen probably needs another high leverage arm, but
Yeah.
I really liked the Hector Neris signing. Uh, Neris can be nails, man. I think he's a really good bridge guy.
Yeah.
As long as you don't have him closing ball games, I think you're okay. I'm gonna drink the Aaron Bummer Kool-Aid again. Look, guys, if you just look at his raw numbers, Aaron Bummer didn't look that great.
Yeah.
He still had a mid-3 ERA. If you look at his peripheral stats, Aaron Bummer was one of the best left-handers in the MLB last year. I'm gonna miss AJ Minter, but I think Aaron Bummer is going to have a really good year. He had a really great spring. I think he was scoreless. And I think Dylan Lee's, functional enough as another lefty who can also get some righties out. I really like the rotation.
Yeah.
I'm really high in Spencer Schwellenbach. Look, this is going to be the real homer thing. I think Grant Holmes is going to be really good as a starter.
Grant Holmes is I'm seeing him as a good third in the rotation type of pitcher. As far as with the caliber of pitchers we have in the starting rotation, I see him third battling with Schwellenbach for 3 and 4 in the rotation. But that's a great problem to have for your 3 and 4 pitcher.
I think Grant Holmes was fantastic last year as a swingman, and I thought he was really good as a starter.
Yeah.
He carried that momentum into the spring. I think he's going to be a guy that surprises a lot of people, and I'm all for it because the flow and the stash, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. But, I think the big thing, we want to start talking about injuries. Spencer Strider is going to be coming back at the end of April. They think he's going to be ready for the Dodger series at the beginning of May.
Yeah.
He might pitch against Shohei Ohtani because rumors have it that's when the Dodgers are bringing back Ohtani.
Ohtani to pitch. I forgot all about him. Man, God. Eesh.
Yeah, all 80 innings of it.
I don't know if he's going to be as dominant as he was before. That's just what I'm feeling on the back of my neck right now.
Yeah, you don't know. I think the double Tommy John is certainly a death blow for a lot of pitchers. I think Strider's got a nice because it was just an elbow surgery. They didn't have to touch his ligament. It was just cleaning up some bone spurs and some stuff just kind of floating around in there. I think Strider's going to come back.
Yeah.
It might take him a minute to find his footing, but I think Strider's going to be Strider.
I hope so, especially with how that first spring training game went for him. That was amazing. He faced 8 batters in 2 innings. He had struck out 6 of those batters, and he was flirting right at 98 miles an hour. It was beautiful to see, especially for his first outing post injury.
Yeah, even that start against Baltimore, the umpire didn't do him any favors. He definitely struck out Ramon Urias before that home run.
All right, here is my next question to you. When it comes to the outfield, I feel like we have a logjam. I feel like we have way too many players for too few of positions. So we're carrying 4 right now, but of course, somebody's going to have to drop. Somebody's going to have to go somewhere when Acuna comes back. And then, of course, we have Alex Verdugo, who's starting in minor leagues or in the minor league camp, but he's going to come up sometime as well. So who's going to be our 3 starting outfielders, let's say June 1st?
June 1st?
Yeah.
I imagine Acuna will be back.
Yeah.
It'll probably be Acuna in right, Harris in center, Profar in left. Uh,
Are you gonna leave Kellenic as a bench bat, or is he gonna platoon with someone?
I think they're going to kick the tires on Kelnick. De La Cruz was brought in to hit lefties because that's what he does.
Yeah.
He was terrible for the Pirates at the second half last year, but that doesn't surprise me because the Pirates coaching staff has been a little subpar.
Mm-hmm.
I'm high on the Pirates this year, but I think he was a bad fit for that Pirates team because he was expected to be the guy. I think
Yeah.
as a rotational piece, De La Cruz is going to be a really nice platoon piece. I think this is do or die for Kelnick. And I think if
I
Kelnick
give him 30 days. He has 30 days to figure it out, or we're gonna
look
yeah.
if, if he does well, I think the Braves might flip him for a bullpen arm. Like
Either way.
call me crazy, but I think with Profar locking down left for the next
Mm-hmm.
3 years now, Harris has center field locked up to like 2032,
Yeah.
and Acuna playing right. I think Kelnick might be a good trade piece if they can get him to hit because they have Alex Verdugo, who's basically the same thing
Mm-hmm.
as Kelnick career wise, but is a better defender, has less good of an arm, but more range, more speed. I think Kelnick and Verdugo are the attractive major league ready trade pieces that they could use. I mean, Verdugo's on a 1 year deal, so Kelnick is the attractive piece because he's got like 3 years of control with this
Yeah.
year. So I think you'll see Kelnick maybe get flipped for a pitcher at the deadline.
Okay. I'm fine with that because we have a all-star outfield. No matter how you flip it, no matter how you turn it. So I'm fine with that problem. Next problem Braves have, you already hit on it before, is the bullpen. And you have a lot of players in minor leagues just trying to get ready, come up to the major leagues. You got Jesse Chavez, Uncle Jesse, for his 11th stint. Is it 11th stint with the
It's
Braves, or
the
is it seventh?
seventh.
Seventh stint with the Braves. He's always coming back, and then of course bring back the one of the best closers we've had in our history of the franchise, Craig Kimbrell. Hopefully, we can squeeze a little bit of talent back out of him before he calls it quits and tries to make his way into Cooperstown.
Yeah, I mean, I think the two weak links right now in the bullpen is De Los Santos and
Yeah,
Jose Suarez. I think those guys are.
Suarez. I view him as the same caliber pitcher as Ian Anderson. They literally are identical, and I can call that the Western Braves out in Los Angeles. I see what Uncle Ron Washington's doing out there. He's just getting all the former Braves over there.
Yeah, let me tell you, as someone who grew up in Southern California and follows all the Angels pages just because that's what all my friends do,
Mm-hmm.
just to stay up on the Angels. My brother and my dad go to lots of Angels games because it's cheap and it's like 30 minutes away.
Yeah.
So I get a little bit of knowledge on the Angels. Jose Suarez is either really good or really bad.
I
So
mean, so was Ian Anderson. Look at
yeah,
what he did during that playoff run where came out as a rookie against one of the best teams in the league and just shut things down.
yeah. I mean, and Anderson got traded because of the walk problem. The fan base doesn't want to hear it. I know, look, love him for the World Series, but you can't walk 20 batters in 20 spring training innings.
No, you can't. I mean, love how he
That's
didn't
bad.
give up hits, but those hits are going to come back and bite you. 5 hits with runners on base are going to hurt you. You can't walk 2 to 3 batters an inning. You can't do it.
No, let me tell you, spring training, there's a mix of, major league guys and minor league guys. You can't dance. Walks are the literal devil if you're a
Mhm.
starting pitcher in the MLB. That's the surefire way to get punished in today's MLB. Everybody's looking to launch balls with runners on base.
Yep.
Free base runners, the power guys salivate because you have to throw strikes.
Yeah. All right. Last part about the roster before we move on to the season award predictions. What's going to happen when we get our starting catcher back? Because Drake Baldwin he's the shiny trophy right now. He's what everybody wants to see. He tore it up in the minor leagues, gonna open up as our starter for the catcher. But of course, Sean Murphy, I mean, we paid him so much money. He's one of the best defensive catchers in the league. He has the potential to be a top-notch bat, but of course, can't stay healthy right now. Nothing against him. I mean, can't do anything about cracked ribs when nobody. I mean, Braves always getting hit by balls. So what's going to happen when we get Sean Murphy back?
I think he'll start. If Baldwin's really hitting, Baldwin
Yeah.
will back up, and they'll do that thing that they did with Travis d'Arnaud, where Baldwin catches every fourth game.
That's how I wish they did with Darno, but Darno and Sean Murphy, they were more almost like a platoon situation where they were playing every 2 days, every 3 days. It wasn't like every fourth day like I wish they did.
So in 2023, when Sean Murphy was really good before he suffered his hamstring injury,
Mm-hmm.
uh, when he took over full time is when he really took off offensively. I think it's all about getting him in a rhythm. He couldn't get in a rhythm last year because the oblique injury.
Yep.
Like as someone who's definitely pulled an oblique in their lifetime, I can see why.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so I think all it is getting Murphy healthy. I think Baldwin's going to be translate really well to this Atlanta lineup. His bat to ball skills are really good. He gets on base. He's going to be really good at the bottom of that lineup because this Braves team knows how to get on. And if you can get on,
Yeah.
Baldwin's going to be putting the ball in play. Watch out.
So at what point do we at what point do we just entertain the possibility of Drake Baldwin as a DH rather than Marcell Ozuna?
Uh, Depends on if Ozuna stays or not. I think that's
See,
a that's a
does
I
it?
think that's a I think that's a this year problem because Ozuna makes so much money
Yeah.
that I wouldn't be surprised if the Braves let him walk in free agency because he's going to get a pretty big contract. He puts up
Does Ozuna
another
finish
monster
the
season.
season with Atlanta across his chest?
Yeah,
He
uh,
does.
the Braves don't really trade guys
Yeah.
in the last year of their contract. They let them run them out. They'll slap them with the qualifying offer, get that free draft pick.
Got it. All right. Moving on. Season awards. Who will be the Braves Cy Young Award winner? Who is going to be the best pitcher for the Braves?
Spencer Schwellenbach.
Schwellenbach?
I think so.
I'm going to go with the other Spencer. I'm going with Spencer Strider. I think he's going to be a candidate for comeback player of the year. He's going to come back with an even better intensity. He's going to be a little bit more mature as a pitcher. He's going to pick his battles and just be smarter, I believe, as a pitcher.
Yeah, I think that's a good shout. But let me tell you, Schwellenbach, I have it right here because I am the stats guy. He only walked 23 batters in 123 and two-thirds innings.
I love those numbers, but man, you still look at Strider's
I
potential last year before he got hurt. He
I
was everyone's top pick for Cy Young.
I know. I think Strider's going to start slow, but like Schwellenbach last year finished in his last 13 starts, he posted a 2.73 ERA and a sub one WHIP.
Mm-hmm.
He's got five pitches. You know, everyone talks about the sophomore slump with pitchers. He's not a two-pitch guy, three-pitch guy like most starting pitchers are. He's
I
got
mean, he
five.
was when he first came up, but he matured. He turned it around so quick last year.
Yeah, he's got a curveball. He's got a cutter. He's got a changeup. He's got a fast. You know,
Yeah,
he's got everything under the sun. So I think Schwellenbach's going to adjust really well.
yeah.
And what I like most about Schwellenbach, I think he's going to be healthy. Everyone talking about he's never thrown this many innings before, but let me tell you what, he wasn't a pitcher in college and high school. So which means he hasn't damaged his arm as bad as a lot of these other guys. I think Schwellenbach's going to go out and take the ball every fifth day
Yeah.
and be the Braves' best starter.
I like it. I like it. So who will be the Braves MVP? Who takes home the best player on the team?
I'm going to go with Money Mike. I think
Money
it's Michael Harris.
Mike.
I think it's Michael Harris's year. Last year, the early knee injury, I think, really kind of sapped his power
Mm-hmm.
because we saw him get kind of rolling at the end of the summer there. But I think he can hit 25, 30 home runs. I think he should be stealing like 40 bases.
He
That's what
should
he
be.
could
I want him to utilize his speed a lot more than he has been in the past couple of years. I want him to do that.
I think the knee and foot injuries have just been a lot. You know, he fouled a ball off his foot, you know, a couple of years ago. Last year it was the knee injury. I think he was nursing the knee. He didn't want to push it. But I think he's going to play Gold Glove defense. I think he's going to hit 25 home runs.
Mm-hmm.
Going to hit 280, and he's going to be, you know, everyone's going to go, "Oh my gosh, how did the Braves sign him for so little money?"
Everybody in MLB hates the team friendly contracts that the Braves get. I love it. I love making everyone hate us.
The anti-Dodgers.
So my MVP, I'm going with Austin Riley. I think Riley's due for a monster year. I think he's going to be flirting right around 40 home runs. I think he's going to be flirting with the Gold Glove award as well. He's going to be right there in a conversation with everyone. He's going to be one of the best third basemen, not just in the National League. I think he's going to be one of the best in the entire league this year.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Stop throwing inside. That's all I'm gonna say. Stop hitting Austin Riley. He got hit like 4 times in spring
Stop
training in the
hitting
hand.
everybody. Look how many times Darno got hit last year. Stats guy, look it up for our next episode. How many times did the Braves get hit, period, last year? And how does that compare against the rest of the league? Because we have to be at least top 3 for most hit batters.
It feels like it. It might feel like it because they're more impactful than just getting hit in the leg or in the butt.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I think Austin Riley. Look, I don't want to be premature here, but I think Austin Riley's a Hall of Famer.
Ooh, that's very premature. Very premature there. I'm just trying to get an MVP, but hey, if he's a Hall of Famer, have at it.
He certainly looks like it. If you just look at his seasons, he's just been when healthy. He's a machine, man. He just posts 5 WAR seasons, good defense.
Yeah,
massive bat, man.
All right, 2 more. Next one. How many Gold Gloves does the Braves get this year?
I think so. I know Chris Sale won the Gold Glove last year. I think Schwellenbach, being a former shortstop, will win the one for pitcher. I think Riley will win one. I think Michael Harris will win one. I'll say 3.
3? I'm sitting right at 3 as well. I'm definitely going to give one to Riley. I was already talking about that. Definitely Michael Harris because he's been one of the better defenders in center field in the league for a while. He just can't stay healthy. So I'm hoping this is the year he turns that around. And then my third, I don't know if I want to go with the pitcher or if I want to go with Matt Olson over at first base because he's kind of slept on, but I like what he does over there. He's Mr. Consistent. He's a younger version of Freddie Freeman to me.
Yeah, I think Olson's got a good shot. I just think there's a lot of really good defensive first basemen.
Yeah. All right, next one, Silver Slugger. Do we have any Silver Sluggers? How many?
Since I'm high on Michael Harris, I'll say Michael Harris wins one.
Yeah.
I think Riley will definitely win one at third base. And odd year Matt Olson.
Odd year Matt Olson. Maybe he can rip off another 40, 50 home runs again.
Look, his swing looks right. From what I've seen, little I've seen in spring training, his swing looks like it did 2 years ago.
I like it. Maybe it's just the odd thing, just like how San Francisco Giants, they had an odd year World Series run for a while. So let's just keep rolling with Olsen.
Yeah.
All right, last one. Let's end it out. Your National League bold predictions. What are you predicting for the National League East this year? National League East bold predictions.
Bold predictions. The Nationals fight for a wild card spot. That's my bold prediction.
Mm-hmm.
I think their core of C.J. Abrams, Dylan Cruz, and James Wood is going to look really good. I think they're really solid all around. They got a lot of good homegrown talent. Tabor Ruiz behind the plate, Luis Garcia at second base. I think their corner infield is a little suspect, and their pitching, their bullpen especially, can be a question mark. But it's baseball, Thomas. You know how it goes. Your bullpen can be the worst in the league in the next season. They're getting everybody out because that's just how baseball works.
That's how baseball is. Look at the 2023 Braves with their offense, best offensive season in the history of the league, and then offense just disappeared in 2024 with almost the identical team. That's just how baseball is. It doesn't make sense.
Injuries, hard hit balls not going the right way. Baseball's hard.
So my bold prediction for NL East, I'm gonna go with 3 teams, and just south of 3 teams are gonna have over 90 wins for the NL East. I don't know which teams. I don't know who's gonna be first, second, third, but there's gonna be 3 90-win teams from the NL East, especially with how the other teams in the league, how the other divisions are looking. We're just going to beat up on everybody, and it's going to be a tough season for everyone coming against the NL East.
Look, I'm just going to say it now. The American League sucks.
Yes.
The Yankees are the favorite to win the American League, and they lost Garrett Cole. And they're still strong favorites. And I don't think the Yankees are that good. I think the Yankees kind of rode the Soto and Judge train to the playoffs and to the World Series last year. Look, the American League isn't good. So
I do believe the true World Series will be the National League Championship Series. So whoever wins that one, they're going to take home the trophy.
I mean, basically, they still got to play the games because, again, it's baseball. And, we say that, and the American League's probably going to sweep whoever they play in the National League in 4 games. but
That's how baseball is.
that's how baseball is. But it really feels like that, doesn't it?
Yeah. All right. That is it for our episode today. You got any final words for us, Jackson?
You know what? Go Braves. Let's go win 5 games on this West Coast road trip.
Let's do
Let's
it.
start
Let's do
strong.
it.
Let's start strong. Let's show the Phillies and the Mets who they're dealing with.
Hey, I'm perfectly okay with that. Let's just have a good season. Let's have a healthy season. Healthy Braves is scary. I don't think anybody wants to play against a fully healthy Braves all season.
Yeah. Healthy Braves is a fun Braves. I watch every game I watched in 2023 was a joy to watch.
Yeah.
I want half as much fun as I had in that season.
Let's have the 2023 offensive Braves, 2024 pitching Braves meet up in 2025, and let's just have some fun.
Let's just have some fun. That sounds great.
All right. Let's end it how we always do, Jackson. Chop on.
And, till next time, chop on.